All right, guys, back with another video. So this one's, I'm actually doing this one right after I finish my EGR delete. Hopefully I can edit that, publish that one before, publish this one. Okay, so what I have is, I have 7 gallons of distilled water and 7 gallons of this Prestone Platinum stuff. I'll go ahead and post the links down below. And then I have this WirelessONE cleaner and super flush. All right, so I've been needing to do this not because of my truck running hot, but just for preventive maintenance. I haven't done it. I bought the truck 121,000 miles. It's at 152,000 miles right now, and this thing is still looking good. All right. So what I do is I got both of the. Here's the radiator. I took that radiator cap off. Here it is. All right. Come on this side. Got this off. Okay. All right, so I already drained it, but I used these plastic containers. I didn't have one drop spill around that box, so that's ideal. If you have some of these plastic containers, any plastic containers really, but they're wide, you won't run out of space, and you'll be good to go. All right, so let me show you specifically on the right side what you're gonna do. All right, so this side's fairly easy. This is the driver's side. Here's this nozzle. You're gonna use some pliers, just turn it left. You're gonna start seeing the coolant drain. It does take a while. It's all right. Let it do its thing. Drain into the container. Okay, once that's done draining, go ahead and close that knob. All right, let me move this out of the way. This one's a little more difficult. You can get it from the front of the truck, or if you have a bumper, aftermarket bumper, you'll be all right. So here it is right here. All right, as you can see, it's perpendicular to the truck. All right, instead of the other side where it's like right there. Okay, so you're just gonna use some pliers. All right, either come in through the wheel well, or I'm sorry, the front bumper, and do it from the right side with some pliers. For me, I just use some and loosen it just like that. All right, let it drain. I'm gonna go ahead and close this though. All right, guys, so I used a set of pliers for the driver's side. These worked well. This one worked really well for me. It's pretty big. All right. Anyways, next step. What I'm gonna end up doing is pour this in. Let's see, the instructions say start engine off and make sure it's cool, drain system, close drain add entire contents of bottle, then refill system with water, reinstall cap, start engine, turn heat on high, and run engine for 10 to 15 minutes. Turn engine off and allow to cool drain system. All right, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put one bottle into that reservoir and one over here into this radiator. Then I'm gonna fill it up with distilled water and then follow the directions. That's pretty much it. So after this flush is done, then I'm gonna have to drain the system again. I do think it's gonna take about 5 to 6 heat cycles for it to actually go through the entire system and then drain it again, followed by adding the actual coolant into the system. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the flush and then come back and see how it looks. One thing that's interesting is that this coolant that came out was yellow. This stuff is orange. All right, what's weird is that this actually says orange. So I'm just gonna be using orange for both. All right, gents, here we are next day. So here's the passenger side. You can see there's a little orange tint to it. So that's good because remember I put about 2 gallons of distilled water in there and a coolant flush additive. to help try and get the rest of that coolant. I've had 2 heat cycles, so I've turned on the truck, make sure it got up to warm temp, so that the thermostat could open and the distilled water, all that can kind of mix together. All right, here's the driver's side. So I already closed both of the knobs, so we are ready to put coolant inside of it. All right, so I put the coolant actually in these 5-gallon jugs. I got to find a place or where to recycle. But anyways, that's how I found out. All right, 2 gallons came out for the passenger side, and about 5 full gallons, maybe a little more on the driver's side, because I guess that radiator is larger and the reservoir's larger. But anyways, time to fill up on coolant. So as I showed in a previous clip, so this is the antifreeze I'm going to throw in. It's already ready to use, which means it's cut 50-50, all right, with pre-diluted mixture. So this will get the job done. Now you could go with Ford Motorcraft stuff. My reservoir said orange, so I'm using orange, although I think that has been discontinued and you can use yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and pour about 3 or 4 gallons onto the driver's side, and then probably a full gallon on the passenger side, only because there's air in the system. So you fill it up to the, you know, that line right there, maybe in between. All right. And then the system will begin to pull coolant into the entirety of the system, if that makes any sense. But you're gonna have to turn on your truck for it to actually circulate. And then after that, you're gonna have to put on your heater on blast. And I think once you start feeling the heat actually be hot, then you're getting somewhere. But you should be able to have it on for maybe about 15 minutes. You're gonna have to add coolant as it continues to decrease in level within each reservoir. But that's all part of the process. Okay. And there's the min, and then there's the max. All right. So once it stops decreasing, that means, hey, there's minimal amount of air in the system, and we should be good to go. So let me go ahead and add some coolant. All right, so I took the truck for a drive, and I made sure that it was at the max level. So as you can see, it's a little low. Might have to top that off, right? Because all the coolant was able to go through the system through that heat cycle. This one, you can see it's slightly below. So this only needs a little bit. So I'm gonna fill them up. I wanna top them off to the top line and then show you, or I guess discuss how many gallons it took for each side. All right, so I finished topping off both reservoirs up to the max line. That one's good to go. This one is good to go. All right, so last bit of info. This one filled up on about a 1.5 gallon. All right, about 2 gallons came out of that one though. 5 gallons came out of this one, and 5 gallons. It took 5 gallons to fill it up to that max line. So there's a good breakdown of how many gallons you're gonna have to buy distilled water, and or if you're doing the coolant flush. 2 gallons came out of this reservoir and radiator, but before this coolant flush, I actually deleted my EGR. And so that'll explain why there was about a 1/2 gallon decrease in what it took. That's my assumption. But anyways, hey guys, hopefully this helps. fairly easy process. Doesn't take much time. I can't remember when the last time the coolant was flushed or changed out, and I don't want it to start affecting seals, things like that. So I went ahead and did the service. So see y'all.